Member for Surrey Cloverdale.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. International Women's Day is a global day celebrating social, economic, cultural, political achievements of women. The day also calls to action for accelerating women's equality. International Women's Day occurred well over a century ago, with the first International Women's Day gathering in 1911, supported by over 1 million people. Today, International Women's Day belongs to all groups, collectively everywhere. International Women's Day is not a country, group, or organization specific. International Women's Day sees a number of exciting and important missions aimed at raising greater awareness about the issues impacting women's equality, taking a stance to call out inequality while working to forge positive action, highlighting and applauding where important gains are being made, and celebrating women's achievements and accomplishments. And Mr. Speaker, I could not continue without recognition of some important women in my life. Without a doubt, my mother gets the #1 billing. She raised me alone in my teenage years, and I'm sure my life would be different if it wasn't for her. 4 years ago, she gave me a lesson in happiness, and she can take some of the credit right now for that smile or smirk that's on my face. My daughter is one of those strong-willed people on the planet who didn't just stop at Go and collect $200. She is forward-thinking with her family and career as priorities in a well-balanced life. We know there's challenges in raising a family, and there isn't one book just to teach us how to be a great parent. And I'm sure if Shannon had the time, she could write a great bestseller called Parenting 101. My partner is one of the highest-ranking firefighters in the province of BC. Sandra's rank of Deputy Fire Chief, which, by the way, has two more gold stripes than I was ever able to achieve, is doing this, and it shows that her drive, dedication, and ambition in a male-dominated profession is top of the pile. And she gets similar credit right now, as my mother did, for the smirk or the smile I have on my face. When my daughter was in grade 12, there was a work and learn program in the high schools. Imagine the conversations when she realized that she was making less than some of those who were already receiving minimum wage. She's doing the same job as some of her coworkers, but she's getting the training wage that the government created. I'm pleased the government eliminated the discriminatory wage category, which affected many women. And I'm also happy, Mr. Speaker, when speaking to the minimum wage, that BC has raised their minimum wage, making it the second highest in the country. This year, there'll be a focused engagement by the province in order to deliver a multi-year, cross-sector, gender-based violence action plan that will build on the initiatives underway and support the development of cross-government actions to address gender-based violence. This action plan will serve as a roadmap to guide the government's approach to addressing gender-based violence in a way that's comprehensive and effective. This action plan includes minimum standards for sexual assault response, more training for police, Crown Counsel, and justices, and establishing core funding for sexual assault services. The 2022-23 budget announced a new annual and predicting funding for community-based sexual assault response services. This will provide victim-centered, trauma-informed support to help survivors of sexual assault in the long road to healing. Diversity City, Community Resources Society in Surrey, is developing It Happens Here Too, a coordinated, culturally responsive emergency sexual assault service for recent newcomers project. This new sexual assault response service will provide a coordinated, culturally responsive emergency sexual assault service hub for recent newcomers, survivors of any immigration group in Surrey, to prevent re-traumatization and fostering increased reporting in post-traumatic growth for their successful settlement and journey in Canada. Services to be provided include case management of coordination of services for survivors, information sharing, cross-training of project partners, community outreach, protocol development, and third-party reporting, and a web portal for survivors to access it in a virtual, multilingual service hub. I often reflect on the words of John Lennon, Mr. Speaker. Imagine all the people. Imagine a gender equal world. Imagine a world free of bias, stereotypes, and discrimination. A world that is diverse, equitable, and inclusive. A world where difference is valued and celebrated. Together, we can forge women's equality. Collectively, we can all, and when I say all, that's everyone here, break the bias. Thank you, Mr. Speaker.